The most dramatic scenes are playing out in Gaza. People here are waking up to horror. Destroyed neighborhoods, buildings reduced to rubble, families killed, children fighting for their lives, no electricity, and no place to bury the dead.
Since 10 p.m. yesterday until early today, more than 50 martyrs in Khan Yunis, and the death toll is constantly rising. We cannot contain burials in a specific place, so graves are dug randomly in various places around houses and in places donated by landowners.
This is a humanitarian disaster, and it's not a first, though it may end up being the worst that Gaza has seen. Hamas attacked Israel and went back to Gaza with Israeli hostages. Their assets are embedded in civilian infrastructure, and in the past they've been accused of using the people of Gaza as human shields. This time too, it's the ordinary Gazans who are bearing the brunt. The Gaza Strip is home to some 2.3 million people. It is one of the world's most densely populated areas. Israel is currently pounding the Strip. Hundreds of Hamas targets are being struck every day, and the result is being reflected in the rising death toll. More than 1,400 people have been killed. This includes 12 workers of the United Nations. Nearly 340,000 people have been displaced, and these numbers are expected to rise. Plus, Gaza is now out of electricity. When the war started, Israel cut off the power supply to them. Now, Gaza depends on Israel for practically everything, for food, for water, for power supply. It has only one power plant of its own. And that plant was running until yesterday, but now it is out of fuel. So there's a blackout. Ordinary Gazans are having to rely on private generators. And most of them do not have fuel to run these. For 2 decades now, in fact, Gaza has been under a blockade. Everything is scarce, including fuel. And now with Israel imposing a total siege, all supplies have been cut off. Gaza has one border crossing into Egypt, and that too was shut on Tuesday.
You don't see how affected we are. We're homeless, we're destroyed. It's been 5 days with no food and water, and we don't know where to go. Children are everywhere here and homeless. This is not right. Let the world support us. We're restless. We are poor people, the Palestinian people.
Currently, hospitals in Gaza are overwhelmed. They're treating hundreds of victims, but they don't know how long they can do this. Without power, many medical devices have stopped functioning, and those that are running could stop in hours. Several lives depend on these machines. So you get the picture, and it doesn't look good for Gaza.
The Arab person who dies from the Western Arab area to the Eastern Arab area, we are one body and we cry over all those people, but no one cries over us. There's no chivalry, no feelings, hearts are dead.
Innocent Palestinians are dying, but what is the international voice of the Palestinian cause doing about it? I'm talking about the PA, the Palestinian Authority. Quick primer. The Palestinian Authority was set up in the mid-1990s. It was a product of the Oslo Accords. What is the Oslo Accords? A deal of sorts between Israel and Palestine. It was supposed to pave the way for an independent Palestinian state. It was signed some 30 years ago, but it failed to deliver. And now it's become irrelevant. Today, the PA controls parts of the West Bank. They once controlled the Gaza Strip too, but that changed in the year 2006. In 2006, elections were held, the last elections in Palestine, both in West Bank and Gaza. Now, the PA retained West Bank, but Gaza went to Hamas, and soon they established complete control. So now Hamas runs the Gaza Strip. They're at odds with the Palestinian Authority. They're political rivals. Both say they represent Palestine and fight for the Palestinian cause. But there's a difference. The Palestinian Authority has more political legitimacy. The international community recognizes it. In contrast, Hamas has few partners. Most countries have designated Hamas as a terrorist organization. In 2014, these two groups, Hamas and Palestinian Authority, tried to join hands to form what they called a national accord government. But it did not hold. Then in 2021, there was a plan to hold elections. Both sides agreed. But again, it never materialized. And it's not like the Palestinian Authority has great credentials. They've been charged with massive corruption. They've been accused of capitulating to Israel. They've been slammed for authoritarianism and for the general lack of support. Because on paper, the Palestinian Authority represents Palestinians, but on ground, the people do not agree. 63% Palestinians see the PA as a burden. And with this conflict, its legitimacy is being questioned further. And we have to say it doesn't augur well for the people of Palestine. They're under attack, they're losing aid and political support, and they do not have a legit representative to engage with the world.